My name is Mike Fuentes. I'm 37 years old. My code-name is Third Rail. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. The way I found out about the Guardian Angels is usually how everyone else finds out about it, through the media, through watching it on TV. Back in the days, there was no internet, so whatever you see on the television or in the newspaper articles, I had heard about the Guardian Angels, especially out of New York City, and I was always curious. I actually wanted to learn how to fight, and one day I was riding the subway, the Blue Line, which is called now the Blue Line, but back then it was called the Douglas O'Hara branch, and the leader, the founder of the Guardian Angels, Curtis Sliwa, actually got on the train with about 13 other Guardian Angels. And the minute I seen the train pull up and I seen all these Guardian Angels, I'm like, wow, it's actually the Guardian Angels. And it just happened that the founder of the group got into the train car that I was in, and once the doors closed, they began patrolling. I got up and I asked the individual, and I didn't know it was Curtis at the time. I asked the guy, how can I get involved with the group? And he gave me a brochure, and in the brochure, I opened it up. I started reading the history of the group and what the group was all about. And then when I turned the page, I noticed there was a picture of the founder of the group, and then I just happened to look up, and I'm like, wow, this is the same guy who started the group. So then I went up to the guy and I asked him, hey, you're the founder of the group? And he's like, yeah. And what ended up happening is when I got back home that night, I called up, I made an appointment, and they gave me the specifics on being a Guardian Angel, which is you have to be 16 years of age or older, no serious felony background, and either working or going to school. At the time I was just 16 years old. I was in high school, and so obviously I fit the qualifications so far. Then you had to set up an appointment to come down, fill out an application, and go through the interview process, and then the 3 months of training, which consists of going out twice a week for patrols and the physical training once a week. Right now, we're actually standing in front of the headquarters that I joined. This headquarters was opened in, I want to say, the spring of 1988. I joined in the fall of 1988. So this headquarters was already established. As far as my history with the Guardian Angels, and especially the history in Chicago, this is one of the hardest, roughest, and best headquarters we had. The main reason why is because at the time, this neighborhood was pretty much run by drug dealers and gang members at the time. The business owner decided he wanted to make a contribution and donation. He wanted to donate the storefront to the Guardian Angels to have a presence of security on Division Street. We were also, conveniently located about a block away from the subway station, which kind of worked hand in hand with the Guardian Angels of patrolling the subways and also patrolling the streets. Majority of the neighborhood appreciated us, actually opened their arms as far as support, because a lot of the people that lived here were sick and tired of the gangbangers, were sick and tired of the drug dealers, the winos, the prostitutes. They were tired of it. And here's an organization that was willing to come into the neighborhood and make a change and patrol the area and make citizens arrests when we seen crime being committed, when we see people selling drugs, we would make citizens arrest. Initially, the neighborhood appreciated us, and they showed a lot of good support, but keep in mind that the gang members and the people out there committing crimes, the negative people in the area, obviously they're never going to like you. No matter what neighborhood you go to, and no matter when you start the group, whether it's 1980 or 2010, the people who are out there, who it's their sole purpose to get young kids involved in gangs and negative activity, they're never going to like the Guardian Angels, because we stand for the positive. We encourage and we enable people from neighborhoods, gang-infested neighborhoods, to get involved and do something positive with their life and go out there and be positive role models and make citizens arrest. So, of course, the majority of the homeowners and the people that lived in this area appreciated and supported us and loved us. In the earlier years, 88 to I want to say 95, when we were in this area, the fights that we got into, they were pretty tough. Most of the time, and even now still, people don't actually want to confront Guardian Angels, or don't fight Guardian Angels unless they outnumber you 2 or 3 to 1. Okay, right now we're in front of our old Wicker Park headquarters, which is actually located on Wicker Park Street. And this headquarters was operational from 1990, I want to say, till about 94, 95. In this area, after we moved from Division, we moved to this headquarters because it had sleeping facilities, it had running water, it had a nice area that actually members that were living in the group and in the headquarters at the time. It was more like an office slash headquarters where people could sleep in, and that's why we moved here. This headquarters we're going to is the second time that I was a full-time guardian angel. I was doing this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I lived at the headquarters, and I actually lived there by myself, and I started recruiting and patrolling every day by myself, and kind of developed a reputation amongst the guardian angels all over the world for being able to go out by yourself, because usually guardian angels work in groups of 4 or more. But at that time, you know, I needed to get members and people get involved into the organization, so I couldn't wait so everyone's scheduled to go on patrol. So I would go out every single day. And you know, by the end of the night, when people were getting out of school, out of work, I'd have the rest of the members join us. But in the daytime, I would just leave about 5, 6 in the morning, and then come back around 6, 7 o'clock at night and pick up the rest of the members and patrol. Wow. 1218. Wow. Yeah, this used to be the guardian angel headquarters. Wow, many nights.